you're wondering how much it costs to live in Hawaii, today we're going to talk about our cost of living here in Hawaii per month, and I'm going to compare it to what we spent per month in Orlando before we moved to Hawaii, so that some of you have an idea of the difference in cost. Just keep in mind before we start that we don't necessarily go super cheap, but we also don't spend lavishly. So just know before you start that you can live in Hawaii cheaper than we do. So let's start with rent, which is the biggest chunk of money for probably most people of their budget. We spend $1,900 on rent for about 550 square feet, and we have about 400 square feet of yard space. Our utilities are fixed, so we pay $300 per month for electricity, including AC, Wi-Fi, water, and yard maintenance. So $2,200 a month for rent and utilities. In Orlando, we had a one bedroom that was 790 square feet, about 800 square feet, with a balcony, which we paid $1,290 for per month. In Orlando, we spent $200 on utilities per month. So that made our total rent and utility cost $1,490. So that's definitely a price increase for Hawaii. For less indoor space, but we do have more outdoor space. No central AC here in Hawaii. We have a portable AC as opposed to central AC in Orlando. Moving on to food. If you've seen our grocery haul in the Oahu vlog, you probably have an idea of how much we spend, but we budget for about $800 per month on groceries here in Hawaii. When we just moved here, we thought we would budget for double than what we spend in Orlando. So that would be $1,000 per month here in Hawaii. We definitely know that we can be cheaper on groceries, but we enjoy cooking, buying fresh foods and vegetables, trying out different recipes. So that means we probably spend a bit more on certain ingredients that might not be the cheapest here in Hawaii. But in Orlando, we spent $450 to $500 a month on groceries. So around a $300 difference. And it's just Denny and I. So $800 a month for two people is definitely a lot. But I do have to admit, we go to Whole Foods quite often. We go to Safeway and Foodland, which are not the cheapest grocery stores here. But sometimes they have the fresher local produce as opposed to the imported ones that kind of look old sometimes. Anyway, moving on to cars. Here in Hawaii, we have one car that we shipped from LA. We pay $90 for car insurance, which is a big difference from Orlando, where we paid $250 in car insurance for two cars. That's also why we chose this neighborhood to live in, because it's close to our job, so we can live with one car. Saves us some money. Gas is more expensive than Orlando. It's about $3.20 to $3.30 per gallon. In Orlando, we spend about $100 per month on gas for two cars. Here in Hawaii, we spend $100 in gas for one car. For all the military people watching, if you can get gas on base, that is definitely cheaper than off base. I believe the gas prices on base are about 80 cents to $1 cheaper per gallon, which makes a big difference. One thing that's different from Orlando and Hawaii is that Hawaii has a mandatory yearly car checkup. They give you a sticker that they put in your car, basically saying your car is good to go for another year. If you don't pass the checkup, you'd have to do the maintenance work, and then you get that sticker of approval and you're good to go, which might give you more peace of mind if you want to buy a secondhand car here in Hawaii. If you see the sticker, okay, it's mechanically good, but that's an extra cost that we did not have in Orlando. So moving on to phone bill, that hasn't really changed. In Orlando, we spent $106. Here in Hawaii, we spent $106 for two phone plans. Moving on to gym memberships. Here in Hawaii, we pay $89 for one gym membership. and I can tag along on their buddy pass system. Otherwise, we'd have to pay double the price. That changes from Orlando because we paid $20 there for both Denny and I, so $10 per person to go to the gym. So that's a pretty big difference. Then we have our spending money for eating out or doing some type of activity in the weekend. Has stayed exactly the same as in Orlando and here, which is $300. Why it's exactly the same is because here in Hawaii, there's more stuff that's free. Like we go hiking all the time, we go to the beach, or just walk around at a cute town, or try out some foods, which we ate out quite often in Orlando too. So that remained the same. That wraps up our monthly costs. See here the difference of our monthly cost in Hawaii as opposed to our monthly cost in Orlando. If you're wondering, why would you pay so much to live in Hawaii? Check out our videos. You'll soon see why, because life in Hawaii can truly be paradise. Leave us in the comment section below some suggestions or ideas of what you would like to see next. And as always, thanks for watching, mahalo, and see you in the next vlog. We'd spend about 90 euros. Our total rent and utility cost, $14.90.